There should be a title for the fear so many people feel as they approach retirement. Maybe we could call it RAS, Retirement Anxiety Syndrome. But even without an official name, Jim Lineweaver can recognize the symptoms and prescribe a few options to overcome it. Jim is a certified financial planner professional with the Lineweaver Financial Group. So welcome back to the show.
Hey, good to see you.
Now you say the onset of these symptoms start just before retirement and just after, correct?
Yes, and although I'm not going to go back to school to get a psychology degree, hopefully my CFP will help out in this manner. But needless to say, yes, you know, people have worked all their life. They've saved for their future, tried to have a good balance between work and life and social things. And all of a sudden, though, when you make that bridge and you jump into retirement, now that paycheck stops. Maybe you get some other pension, Social Security coming in, but now you have to rely on your assets to provide that lifestyle that you need. It's a total mind shift change, and a lot of people have a lot of anxiety over that next chapter in their life.
Well, isn't it kind of normal to be anxious over such a big change in life?
It is, because one of your biggest fears is, one, you don't want to go back to work, I'm sure, if you work long and hard and you think you've done things right. Other people may choose to, just from a social aspect, but needless to say, the biggest fears are, am I going to run out of money? And especially with things that can pop up in the future that are your unforeseen circumstances, you got to make sure you're well prepared for that.
So you really have to plan. So what do we need to do? What are we looking at to make sure we've got it all covered?
Well, one of the best things to do is really come up with a budget. And what you want to really do is look at all the expenses and everything that you're, laying out. And so, you're not going to be putting money into that 401k anymore. And so certain expenses will go away, but other things will be added on. And when you look at that, you can't ignore healthcare. Healthcare is one of the biggest expenses that people face. As a matter of fact, only 20% of the employers that are out there, or 1 in every 6, actually provide some type of health care and retirement. So there's very little people that are covering that. And the average expense for a 65-year-old for the next 20 years is going to spend about $220,000 just in health care alone. So it's a huge expense. But what I always encourage people to do is try to live on your budget or fixed expenses for 2 years before you retire to see how tight that belt is. Maybe you can stretch that retirement out a couple years or make some other adjustments and changes.
So you know what you're facing, so you know how to plan for that.
Exactly.
So I'm starting to feel a little anxious myself, but I understand the budgeting. I think that's important, but we don't know how long we're going to live. So how do you even know what to do?
Yeah, some people throw out there like, well, just take a 4% consumption rate off your portfolio and live on that, and it should be able to stay ahead of inflation. But with low interest rates today, that's not going to cut it unless you're in a well-diversified portfolio. But you should probably go see a professional out there, like a certified financial planning professional, because they'll have software and things that can really pull into all the details, taxes, inflation, your Social
and things
Security,
you might forget if you're trying to think about yourself.
Much more comprehensive. But there's also something that we have created. It's called a retirement scorecard. And what that does is, I brought it here for your viewers, they can actually log right onto our website and actually take this test. But what it is, it's a scorecard that's going to see if you're prepared for retirement. And it covers not only the financial issues, it covers risk issues, it covers the mental and some of these anxiety issues. So there's a lot of different things that are covered in this, and it's going to measure how well you might be prepared for retirement, or if you're already in retirement, it can really help out as well.
Okay, and that's on your website?
Yes.
All right. Conquer retirement anxiety syndrome before it affects you. Follow Jim's advice, and for more information, give him a call. The number's next.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or click to www.lineweaver.net. Next, we'll run down